classic cutlery and tableware.
Okay. I have a random store here. So we're here in the, we're here in the French Quarter, or the French Concession. French Quarter, like the New Orleans, right?
Yeah, I was about to say.
So,
there's not that many drunk people here.
But this is my first time walking around this part of town. I'm here with Wheelsboy, Ethan, and we're going to do some car spotting.
Yes.
Out on the street here, and I'm very excited to do this with you because your knowledge of it is so freaking out of this world.
We'll
right?
see. Let's see. I hope I don't mess up on camera.
Okay, so
so why don't we start walking this way?
Okay.
There's a nice Mercedes-Benz. We're gonna look. What's that right there?
That's the Jiaji, right?
That's our Geely Jiaji.
Look at that right there. Is that the Xpeng G3, right?
That is the Xpeng G3, correct. See, that one, I'm disappointed. That one doesn't have, the Xpeng G3 is cool because you can option it with that thing on the roof. It looks like a lidar sensor or something. It pops up almost like a drone that's going to fly away. But what it is it's actually just a camera that you can use to take pictures, like 360 degrees. It'll turn.
What a cool idea! Because when you're on a road trip, you got to stop, get out, take a picture of the scenery. This way, you just take a photo and keep going.
Yeah, and allegedly, a minor thing is it's also gesture sensitive. So if you're outside of the car, there are things you can do where you go like, or whatever, and it'll just
rise out of the car.
Yeah, it's very sci-fi. I love the way it looks.
How's the car scene here in Shanghai?
It is probably one of the best in China, for sure. I mean, to be honest, it depends on what you want to see. In this area, we're pretty likely to be spotting some pretty nice cars. I mean, your Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff like that are relatively common here. But the other cool thing is that you also have the vintage car scene in China in general is not that great because of the regulations. It's relatively hard to keep older cars on the road.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a headache. And so...
But money talks in China.
Money talks, and Guanxi walks. Is that the phrase?
Sure, in China we can make it a phrase.
It is
right?
now. It is now. I just made it up.
Look at this car here. This is the Buick.
That's a Buick Velite.
The Velite, yeah.
Velite 6. There's a Velite 6 and a Velite 5.
So it's a Buick wagon.
It is a Buick.
You never see these
all electric.
All electric Buick wagon.
So
you don't see that in America.
That's an example of a car you will not see in the States. That's one of the things you get a lot of Americans complaining about, American car enthusiasts, is GM in particular has a lot of electric cars that they sell here and only here. So the Buick Velite is an example. The Wuling Mini EV, which is a joint venture car.
There's no way that would pass safety standards in the States.
No
way.
Price would jump so much.
It would double at least.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But even if you double it, it's $9,000.
Yeah, right.
If you double it, it's $9,000.
But you can't drive that on the highways, though, can you? I mean, it's got a top speed of about 60 miles per hour, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Even if that.
One of my favorite videos we did, but people didn't like it some people didn't like it very much, only because basically they felt that I was unfair to the poor adorable Mini EV, and I compared it.
But the Baojun was the one you were comparing it to, and I think the Baojun is night and day compared to the Wuling.
The Baojun is definitely has more, and there's a reason that it costs twice as much.
I think it looks cooler too.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a Wall-E car. It looks
yeah,
like Wall-E.
Exactly. There's a Panamera.
There's a Panamera, of course. These are thick on the ground in Shanghai.
Right. Well, here the Panameras are known as, especially in the secondhand market, a kind of a deal. You know.
Yeah, relatively speaking.
Yeah, but in China, maybe not so much, right?
No.
It's that Porsche name, right? This is a great example. Is this his van? You think you can?
Yes. Let me see. I gotta remember what the brand of this van is.
Is it Maxus?
I think this is a Maxus.
Yeah.
So Maxus used to be a British brand.
Now that is not your mother's Chrysler minivan from back in the day, though.
It's not. So the Maxus is fun because Maxus was a British brand that was bought by a Chinese company and kind of revived here in the Chinese market. Maserati Levante.
So Maserati, big hopes. I mean, this is a car company that is struggling worldwide.
They are, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So the joke here in the Chinese market is that when you buy a Maserati, you pay for the exhaust and you get a car for free. There's an Aston Martin.
That's
Vantage.
brilliant.
There's a Vantage.
Oh, look at that Isuzu right there, man.
You missed an Aston Martin in front of
Oh, I did, didn't I? Oh, damn it.
That's okay. Vantage S is...
It's too fast.
But yeah, the Levante, you're right. I mean, how many times have you heard that of a car company? Their last chance is the Chinese market. That's one of those things you hear all the time, I feel like. Whether it's, Cadillac, or it's Buick, or it's Smart, or it's Maserati, or it's McLaren, it doesn't matter. There's always somebody whose last hope is the Chinese market. And the reality is that in often cases it's true.
Okay, so is this the Velar?
This is a Velar.
Okay, so we got this here.
Which is one of the sexiest SUVs you can
It really is. I got
GLC AMG, I think. Unless it's fake. So here's a fun thing. However many fake AMGs are wherever you live, there are a million more. That one's fake, I think.
It's not even an AMG, is it?
That one's got a body kit on it.
Yeah.
There's so many fake AMGs and M's and Audi RS's and S's and stuff in Shanghai.
It's just a badge thing.
It is. It's just people just swap a badge on there, and sometimes they work hard and they really put a full body kit on, and sometimes they would literally just put M5 on the back of the regular 5 Series, like the one right there next to you.
All right, how about this one here, the Mustang? All right.
USA, baby.
Yeah.
Only the 4-cylinder is available though.
Really?
Yes.
It's not even the V6.
Not even.
I didn't even
V6.
know they put a 4-cylinder.
I don't think they don't even sell the V6 anymore. 4-cylinder is the only one available, and as far as I know, the version that is available in the Chinese market, because the 4-cylinder you can get in the one in the US is pretty stout. I mean, it's over 300 horsepower, and it does 0 to 60 in 5-ish seconds.
Forget the V8 coming here.
Well, yeah, no way. It won't pass anything. But and then we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
I'll finish my thought on the Mustang, and then we'll show you what's behind the camera. But that thing, I drove one of the 4-cylinder ones they have here. Slow. The best 0 to 60 we could manage using the launch control was like 7.5 seconds. Yeah.
It's embarrassing for a Mustang lover.
Awesome.
Okay. All right, let's talk about this one.
Let's talk about this one. So this is one of my favorite Chinese cars. This is a Lynk & Co. 03 Plus. This is a
Zeekr.
No, so
no.
This is what's fun. So this is the Lynk & Co. badge that is now being used by the Zeekr, which is an all-electric sub-brand from Geely. This is also a Geely sub-brand. This is what I would argue one of the only sporty Chinese cars, or Chinese, I don't know if you call it a sports car, because it's not 2 doors. Sporty Chinese cars that you can get, and I love it. I mean, the looks are really polarizing, obviously, because it looks.
I think it looks great.
I love it. I love the nuclear waste green. I love the weird 2-tiered headlight design. So most cars have a headlight, the way that the front of the car looks. Like, let's just randomly choose this 311, just as an example. There are 2 tiers generally on a car. There's the headlights and the badge here, and then there's the air intake below. That's what a normal car would be. What Lynk & Co. did is they were not satisfied with that. We want 3 tiers. So we have an air intake here and here, the main headlights, right? And then we have another one built up here into the fender, which some people think makes it look like a frog, and I just think it looks really cool. But under the hood is, as I recall, a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. This is probably one of those they co-developed with Volvo, making about 250 horsepower. It has a 7-speed DCT. I believe it's 7 speeds, but it's quite fun to drive. It's 4-wheel drive, and it is surprisingly fun. And it is apparently,
and it's got a parking ticket,
it's got some side.
Bummer.
But I love it. And one last detail before I walk away. All of this is a kit that you have to pay for. This is an optional package, but if you look closely on the side here, it says downforce on your rear wing. Just in case
you didn't know what the wing was for.
Just in case you forgot what the wing was for. But yeah, I love that. I love that car.
All right.
That's one of I think that was one of the cars that I chose as my favorite car that I drove in 2020. Yeah. This is another cool Lynk & Co. So we're going to get a look. This is the new 05. This is Lynk & Co.'s latest model.
I love the matte black on this. It looks great.
Is hot.
Yeah.
And so this is a coupe SUV, and I absolutely love the way this thing looks. So again, it has the same distinct Lynk & Co. front end with the 3-tiered look. And then its real piece de resistance is the rear end. And I wish that this thing, I could have the lights lit up so that you could see it. But really cool looking lighting here on the rear end.
Yeah.
And the powertrain underneath of this, the same as the 03 Plus. So it has the real like kind of sounding 4-cylinder. It's cool. And then this is not stock.
No, you see that the bling.
The diamond bling logo is not stock.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that car, and I agree. If that matte black is very cool.
A lot of Teslas, but I haven't seen any of like the little 2-door like city cars so far.
Not a lot. So those sell mostly in smaller cities, but they're definitely here.
But they would make sense more in a big city like this, don't you think?
You'd think, but it's one of those things where people that live in big cities at least like to think that they can afford a bigger car.
Well, fair.
But you were talking about Model Teslas. Model 3s are absolutely everywhere. Everywhere. Is that an S4? S4. Nice. I love those. Okay. So here's another British.
Yeah, this is the MG, right?
This is an MG. So MG is another British brand that was revived by China.
Is it SCIC, right?
Yes, I believe that is SIIC. That is Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation, or SIIC. So that's another brand that they bought, and they are now actually reselling abroad. I mean, it is available in the in the UK market at least. Some of the MG5, I think.
Yeah, we're in the French concession. Oh, right over there, that's the tongue.
That's
right?
a Han. Yeah.
A Han, excuse me, a Han.
So the BYD Han, which is BYD's kind of full mid-size or like large mid-size sedan, that looks like so the grill on that tells me that is either a gasoline or a hybrid version. So if it does come in a hybrid version, so if you look on the back of it, it ought to say a number, all the BYDs, a DM, so yeah, 4.7 seconds with
Incredible.
that, 4.7S. So yeah, even the slow one still does 4.5 seconds.
What do you think them writing "Build Your Dreams" on the back line? Isn't that kind of it's kind of tacky, don't you think?
Do not understand what they are doing.
No.
Everybody that I've talked to, every foreigner that I've talked to, thinks it's the lamest thing on earth, and they make great cars. I mean, I've driven the BYD Tong and Han and some of their other cars, and they make legitimately competitive cars at a really very high value. But that thing, they just need to give that up.
You know, right?
That does look like a thing, yeah.
And my buddy's got the ES6, and he freaking loves it. That's Fernando, you know.
So there you go, right there.
That's a Crown.
Yeah. Which is a brand you definitely do not get in places like the U.S. and Europe.
Oh, there's a Wuling bread van?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. At one time, the best-selling car in China, the Wuling Hongguang, right?
Yeah, the Hongguang. That's a Rongguang versus the Hongguang. Rongguang is the smaller, even cheaper version.
Well, I loved your video on the Hongguang. I mean, that was one of the coolest videos. Because it's just this cheap.
Another Toyota Crown.
Yeah,
they're everywhere. Yeah.
And have you noticed the Crowns are all driven by older folks, older men,
or they're professional cars. They're black cars. Oh, so here's a fun one. This is Chinese market only Chevy.
Yeah,
this is in Orlando.
When I first saw this, I thought, oh, it's like a version of the Trailblazer.
Trailblazer Equinox or something. I almost walked by it. So this is a red line version. Obviously, this is like the sport package you can get for whatever that's worth. But yeah, this is a Chinese market only kind of small MPV SUV type thing.
Yeah, it's very low to the ground, right? Very low.
It is. The only thing I want to point out about it, and it's something that I complain about on Chevys here in China, is that for some reason Chevy has got it in their mind. Can you guess? This is 530T. Can you guess at all what 530T refers to?
I have no idea.
It's not the displacement. This is not a 5.3 liter V8, right? It's not a 5-speed, it's not a 3-door, and it's not a who knows what 0 can stand for. Inside, this is basically what happens when a manufacturer says, hey, you know that code that we use internally to tell you what the car is? Like, it's got this transmission and this engine, da-da-da-da. Let's just put that on the back of the car. Why? Who benefits from this? I don't know. And I could not tell you. It's meaningless. It's completely meaningless to the average consumer. I think it literally is just so they can put a big number on the back that looks impressive.
Okay, this is the Hongqi H9, right?
So this is the Hongqi H9. This is a car that has been referred to as the Chinese S-Class, the Chinese 7 Series, the Chinese Rolls-Royce, whatever you want to call it. And it is easily the most popular video on my entire channel is talking about that car because people love to argue about it. Does it look more like a 7 Series than it does a Rolls-Royce? It's
got a little bit of everything, but at one point it's got so much a little bit of everything that it becomes its own thing.
That's kind of was my conclusion about it. I actually like the way it looks, and I've been really happy to see more and more of them in Shanghai. They're all being used as like black cars. It's like private car services and stuff.
They're nice. They're not quite up to par with a BMW and Mercedes. No. But again, you're not going to pay the price for that either.
No, well, you're paying half of what it costs.
All right, what's this one up here coming up?
So this, I think, is this a Weltmeister?
That's what I was thinking, maybe.
I don't know if this is a Weltmeister. Let me see the back. There's a plate. No, iWays. Dang it.
iWays.
5. So this is a car that recently became available in the European market, fully electric. And I actually should be maybe driving one pretty soon.
Okay.
Actually, there may be a video coming to my channel about it. No, I don't know a lot about it. It's relatively affordable. I mean, it's not. This is not a performance one. It's not one of those ones that has like 500 horsepower and does 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. It's definitely more on the affordable. Like, it'll have like 250 horsepower.
Old H6 there. Now, what I talked about, I have a 2012 H6.
That's
which,
probably like a 2018 or 2019.
Yeah, probably.
17.
They're still building the H6.
Yeah.
My H6, they call it the M6 now. They still build that one and the previous model, and they have another one on the same platform.
So it just came out, yeah.
Well, that new one, the brand new one came out. So they've got like 5 or 6 different models of the H6 that they sell all around the world. Same platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you can keep making money, I mean, it's the Volkswagen Beetle principle. They were selling that thing up until like 2004 in Mexico.
That's right. It was a taxi cabs in Mexico.
Exactly. The vans up until 2014 in Brazil, which is why the one we drove on the I drove on the channel, which was really fun. Not a lot of people wanted to watch that because it wasn't a Chinese car, but I loved it. Even though I will tell you this much, a Volkswagen T2, whether it was built in 1975 or 2013, doesn't really drive that great.
Okay.
It's super fun. It's very cool to look at. Everybody loves it. It makes everybody happy. But boy, it drives like a car that was started in the 1960s.
Boy, there's so many Rolls. Look, Rolls.
Yeah.
Everywhere. I mean, wow, they're everywhere.
It's the official car of Chinese Uber because they have a lot of incentives for drivers. It's affordable. There's hybrid versions.
See, that must be a thing here because, oh, check out the bike.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. But no, that must be a thing here because in southern China, they're all BYD.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
It's, again, as we talked about, it's all about local pride. Here's a fun one. That's a
Dongfeng?
That's a Denza. I think.
A Denzai.
So Denza, Denza, is a sub-brand that was produced by. So there was a policy that came out not too long ago in China, 3 or 4 years ago, that had a lot of foreign automakers scrambling to make electric cars. Because it's like you have to start producing electric cars in China. That was basically the result.
I remember this.
Yeah, and so a lot of joint venture companies started to produce electric cars. And Denza was the one that came out of, I believe it was BAIC, Beijing Automotive Industry Corporation, BAIC, and Mercedes-Benz. So the latest version of that Denza SUV has a badge on it that basically says, designed by Mercedes-Benz.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And
okay.
what that really means, we do not know. Does it mean that it was the exterior design was by Mercedes-Benz? Was the engineering by Mercedes-Benz?
It was inspired, like the BAIC copycat of the G-Wagon.
Yes. Oh my God.
They actually say it's inspired by the G-Wagon, but because of their relationship with Mercedes, Mercedes is not really making a big fuss about it.
They can get away with it.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
It's great.
It has a V6 badge, but only on like the front fender as V6, but only on one side. Because 2 would be too expensive. It is.
But
truly
it's
amazing.
basically a G-Wagon for 50 grand.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like a G-Wagon.
It is. And
Yeah.
when a base G-Wagon here, the 4-cylinder G-Wagon.
Yeah, that's new. The
G2, what is it? The G whatever 300, which only is available in the Chinese market, and still the starting price, converted and everything after tax, $207,000 for a 4-cylinder G-Wagon. When you get the BAIC one, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's when you buy 4 or 5 or 6 of the BAIC ones, and you just dye different colors and you rotate them. Tell your neighbor that, oh yeah, no, I bought 6 G-Wagons.
Yeah, so yeah, this is a luxury. This is Taiwanese company, right?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, but I had an ex-girlfriend. I had just one just like that. I drove it around, and it is a Taiwanese brand.
Nice.
Yeah, the Lux Gen.
I'm glad you're teaching me.
Okay.
I remember seeing them for years and thinking, what an interesting name.
They're okay. I mean, I drove one around for a little while. It was great. Nice. Oh, there's our friend, the Baojun.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally, we see a Belgium E300.
Yeah. Great looking little city car. All right, dude. Well, thank you for coming car spotting with me, man. I do appreciate it. That was a lot of fun, man. I hope we can do some more of this in the future.
This is what I do with my spare time anyways. It just so happens that he basically just found me walking on the street doing this on my own, and he said, hey, why don't we just film it together? I said, okay.
But before we go, dream car.
Oh, no, dude. It's like asking me to pick my favorite child.
All right.
If I had to drive one car for the rest of my life every day, CTSV wagon.
Really?
Yes. I love the way it looks. I love how fast it is, and it's a wagon.
All right, you're a wagon dude. Okay, all right.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
fetishist.
For me, NSX,
Which one? Old one?
the old one.
Okay.
I haven't been in the new one yet. I don't know, but the old one just had the best. Give me a 2001 NSX, black on black. Yeah. Or the new Corvette. The new Corvette's pretty sick, but I think I'm more partial to the C5.
I bet you want a Z06.
Oh, of course. All right, buddy. Thanks for having me,
No
man.
problem.
All right, cheers.